Alright guys, it's time to talk about Bittensor on the channel once again. Now we talked about this about 8 days ago guys, on the 18th actually. Let me put this on the daily so you can see real quick where we talked about this last. Now it was actually way back down here on the 18th. We had this candle right here. We made a video. And yeah guys, since that time it looks like, Bittensor has really surged up. Now we can see that on the 4-hour time frame here, we do have kind of a flag here that was created mainly on the daily time frame, but I just wanted to break this down on the 4-hour time frame for you guys and just show you. Let me show you this on the daily time frame. So okay, we do have this kind of flag here. So if we break it down a little bit, you can see I adjusted it to fit the 4-hour time frame though with the lines. For the most part. Now there are some deviances, of course, attempted breakouts and attempted breakdowns, but for the most part guys, these lines fit, probably the best like this. Now it did break out on the last 4-hourly candle. As you can see right now, we have retested actually the top of this flag and are getting a bounce right now. Now where does the target take us, guys? I need to show you this. This is actually a pretty big target. Let me put this on the daily time frame. Yeah, you can see basically it goes all the way up to about, let's just say $480. So it looks like we should just exceed the last, little high over here. And, it looks like we will get fairly close to coming up to this high over here that we had on the 18th of January back when we were about $485. So we do have a lot of resistances to break through. We do have, a couple of dailies. We do have a weekly here and then maybe one more daily. So about 3 dailies and 1 weekly to break through to reach this target. Now this is just a technical target, guys. It could exceed the target. It might even fall below this one and kind of consolidate or something like this. It may run out of steam well before then. Just have to wait and see. Now, let's take a look at the RSI, guys. I do want to look and see how much more strength this has. The daily time frame, guys, it is overbought, so that actually isn't that great right now. The weekly time frame coming up pretty heavily, and on the RSI also coming up, so that is good on a weekly time frame. I'm not sure about the monthly, if we'll have anything. Yeah, it's still not printing anything on the monthly. Let's go to the lower time frames. Now, actually looks pretty good here on the 4-hour time frame on the Stochh RSI, coming up, pretty heavily, pretty strongly. Just, basically sliding upwards on the RSI here. Not overbought just yet, but yeah, it's not bad. Still has, some room to run there. Now on the 1-hour time frame, guys, it is coming up pretty heavily here on the Stochh. It is getting into the overbought region. Now in the RSI, it's just sliding up again. It's not, really close to getting overbought just yet. But yeah, it is pointed upwards. Now the 15-minute time frame, it is overbought in the Stochh, and it is sliding up again on the RSI. So mostly all these RSIs look pretty good. Some of these Stochs, though, are overbought. So what do I think, guys? Let's just go back to the 4-hour time frame. I want to take a look at this again. Now, I do think this is probably due for a little bit of cool off. If I put this on a daily time frame, yeah, we have had a lot of daily candles lately in the green, and these are pretty big candles, guys. I mean, these aren't small candles. This is like a $20 candle right there. Here, what, 315 to 290, that's like a $25 candle. These are large candles, guys. When you consider, Bittensor is over here at $356. Yeah, these are massive. Now, I do think it will cool down. I'm not sure that, today for sure, I don't think it's going to break through this resistance up here at about $3.76, and not $3, $376. I just don't think it's going to do that tonight. Maybe it could make it there tomorrow. Considering, that we've had many of these like $20 to $25 candles here, all these green ones pretty much. I think it's probably going to reach it tomorrow, if anything, if we don't have any bad news coming. And macroeconomically, I'm not sure. I have to look at the calendar in a minute. But yeah, I do think we probably will reach this resistance in the next day or so. But yeah, the target, guys, is pretty high, so you can still make quite a bit of money on TAO here. Let's take a quick look at the MEXC as well here. Now you can see it is getting some pretty big green candles here. It is sitting at 19 and 29.6. So let's zoom out here. Now it can get up to about 46 there. There's a peak over here in December. A local peak, we can say, wow, it got up to 74 here. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire history, guys. Now we are sitting right about here, so we are basically at the third highest peak that this is, this has ever had at the moment. And yeah, you can see it can run a lot more, higher, guys. So maybe this is the start of one of these, bigger peaks. And I do expect Bittensor to really be a leader in the AI sector, guys. So yeah, this is not looking too bad on the MEXC in my opinion. Now I want to take a look at the volume profile as well. Let's just take a look at the visible range. Let's put this on a weekly time frame just to make it a little bit easier to look at. Now if we look at this, yeah, it extends all the way back to April of 2024. So yeah, we do have some bigger like nodes, we can say here. Once this gets actually above this target, you can see if I zoom out, guys, right here is this target. It will actually get a little bit easier to get above, these little resistances here. Now, that's just taking into account, that most of these bigger nodes are down here on the lower half, of course, guys. Of course, the, higher it trades, the less volume we're probably going to have. So yeah, let's see what happens when we get here. Still a long way to go, guys. I think this is still going to take maybe at least a couple of weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. In my opinion, that's just, it could go a lot faster, but I just think it's going to at least take probably a couple of weeks, and we need to see what's going on with tariffs, guys, and things like this. Now, looking at the tokenomics of Bittensor, guys, you can see the max supply is super low, 21 million, and not even half of this is circulating. So this is a very low supply. So that means this can really, really fly and really quickly. So keep that in mind, guys. All-time high sitting up, it's almost like BNB's all-time high. And yeah, you're getting about a 53% discount at the moment. So yeah, that's actually, that's a nice price right there. I think this will definitely reach $757 on its next run. I do think it will also exceed it, especially with this low supply, guys. Honestly, I would say that probably $1,500 to $2,000, like BNB, is probably in the cards for Bittensor, honestly. Now, just taking a quick look at Bitcoin, guys. It is getting a couple of red candles here on the daily. So yesterday was slightly red. Today is a little bit more red, but still, it's kind of just wedging itself between 93,600 and 95,170. And it's creating a CME gap to the downside, so that's actually good. Do expect that this gap, gets closed probably in the next day or two. We do have trading days on Monday and Tuesday this week. And yeah, so if you were going to do anything with shorting and longing, you probably want to long Bitcoin at the moment. Looking at Ethereum, guys, you can see it is actually getting rejected by this little parallel channel that we are creating at the moment. It is still above 1795, so that actually is a positive at the moment, guys. We still have a few more hours basically on this daily candle at the moment, so that would be a big win if we can stay above this tonight and tomorrow start to continue upwards once again. Now, I can say Ethereum is looking better at the moment, but Ethereum is far from being out of the woods, guys. So it has a lot of work to do. And, I expected it actually to break down several days ago, but so far it hasn't done that. So let's see if this is, where the tides change. And it does actually appear that the tides are really changing for Ethereum. Sooner or later, Ethereum will bounce, guys. No matter, how bad the crypto is, in my opinion, and I don't like Ethereum. I think there's just better projects, Avalanche, BNB, Solana. I always say this, guys. So, but eventually this is, technically the leader of the altcoins. Eventually it will bounce, at least, in this cycle. I don't know about next cycle. Probably won't do that well, honestly. Now, total market cap is stuck under 1.05 trillion. We are getting a rejection. Keep in mind, this is a weekly candle. Now, the dominance, guys, this is also a weekly candle. If I zoom in, you can see the cycle high. Basically, we do have kind of a wick a little bit higher. Let me just try to line this up. Okay, there. I think it's lined up really well with this weekly time frame. Now, we are getting a rejection, so that's actually a good thing. But, still, look at this. We are how many weeks, bullish on the dominance? Unfortunately, I have to say bullish. I would like to see bearish dominance. Now, we've had 8 weeks in a row of just upside for Bitcoin. Although my bags are moving up, Bitcoin is just moving up much more. Now, the CME futures did close at 96,200, so again, keep that in mind as well. We are sitting at 94,200 on the Binance chart, so that's actually $2,000 to the upside. Now, the dollar index on the weekly time frame, you can see it did have a bullish a hammer candle, and sitting at 99.58, just under 100 here. Let's see where this opens up tomorrow. Now, liquidation heat map is very low, under 150, so that's actually pretty tame, guys. Almost equal on both sides, but longs are getting a little bit more wrecked than shorts at the moment. Fear and greed, 61, so we are starting to move down a little bit. Yesterday was a 65, so that's fine in my opinion. Now, the altcoin season index, let me refresh this. Okay, so it went up from a 14 to a 16 now. So let's see. The dominance, like I said, needs to come down, and then we will see this start to move back to the upside. Now, bull market peak indicators, sell at the top, still hold 100%, still 0 from 30 have been hit. The pi cycle top indicator does look like it wants to start curving back up, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? Make a comment below. And yeah, I do think this just wants to start curving back up. Now, this week, guys, tomorrow we do have some HPI numbers. We have consumer confidence job openings as well. So yeah, keep that in mind. I think consumer confidence and JOLTS job openings will be the most important. Actually, that's Tuesday. Sorry, guys. Monday, we actually have nothing, so that's good. Wednesday, we do have some Chicago PMI. We got PCE. That's very important. Personal spending, ADP, non-farm employment change. So keep that in mind. Thursday, jobless claims. We do have some PMI, and we got some ISM numbers here. So that's a little bit important as well. But maybe the most important, numbers next week is non-farm payrolls, actually. Average hourly earnings. We have factory orders. We have private non-farm payrolls, but non-farm payrolls is probably the most important number next week. And, also PCE as well. So those two numbers, I think, will play a big role in whether or not we get a cut in the next meeting. Now, we still have 9 days. Still 90% chance, basically, that we're not getting a cut. So keep that in mind. But this can change very rapidly depending on the numbers next week. Now, the crypto bubbles, not looking so good today. But for the week, month, and year, still green. So that's fine. Now, if we take a quick look at Bittensor on Coinondo, you can see there are 9 deals that were found. So yeah, check that out. Make sure you don't get locked up, too long in case you guys want to sell. You can't really predict 360 days down the road, so I wouldn't do that personally. But 30 days, yeah, why not? Or flexible, fine, even better. So anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell. Look at some of those exchanges that I have below in the description, and consider, signing up with those if you don't have them. And yeah, guys, I really appreciate all the support. And I'm still a little bit sick, so yeah, I'm trying to, get better by tomorrow. I hope my voice will start to sound a little bit better. But yeah, I'm really struggling the last few days to make these videos. Anyways, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.